Trustees, I greet you this morning in the name of the Lord. Deputy Speaker, I move without notice in terms of Rule 130 of the Standing Rules of the Eastern Cape Provincial Legislature that the House notes with grave concern the devastating impact of United States import tariff increase on South Africa's automotive sector, which threatens thousands of jobs and undermines the competitive of one of our most vital economic pillars. That the House acknowledges the alarming prospect of an additional 10% import tariff on BRICS countries that could further exacerbate the challenges facing our automotive manufacturers and component suppliers. That the House recognizes the severe economic consequences that we are already experiencing, including the gender marks loss of 750 million worth of contracts that threatens 500 internal employees and a further 3,000 workers in its local supply pipeline. This is coupled with Goodyear South Africa's decision to close its Kariga operations with a potential loss of 900 jobs. That the House expresses deep concern that over the past 2 years, the National Association of Automotive Components and Allied Manufacturers, NAPCAM, has recorded 12 company closures that were affected more than 4,000 people due to lower domestic sales, an influx of imports, and stagnant national economic growth. That the House acknowledges that the Eastern Cape is particularly vulnerable to these economic shocks because it is home to 3 of South Africa's original equipment manufacturers and approximately 120 automotive component manufacturers that form the backbone of the provincial economy. That the House appreciates the proactive leadership demonstrated by Premier Mabuyane in addressing these challenges during his keynote address at NACAM's 2025 show that was held in Gqeberha on the 14th of August 2025. Therefore, Deputy Speaker, I move that this House calls upon the national government negotiating team to intensify diplomatic efforts to secure favorable trade terms with the United States administration and to explore all available avenues to address these discriminatory trade practices. Again, Deputy Speaker, I move that the House endorses the utilization of existing government instruments, which includes the Localization Support Fund, the Export and Competitive Support Program, and the numerous interventions made by the Department of Employment and Labor to mitigate job losses and support the affected companies. To commend Premier Mabuyane's commitment to localize support measures through the establishment of a dedicated point of contact at the Automotive Industry Development Center's Eastern Cape branch to ensure that the affected companies have access to support. Deputy Speaker, I move that the House also urges the national government to expedite the implementation of all proposed support measures and to consider additional interventions which may include tax relief and skills development programs that will enhance the sustainability of the automotive sector forward. I therefore, Deputy Speaker, move that the House also calls for the development of a comprehensive automotive industry recovery plan that will address both immediate challenges and long-term competitiveness, including strategies to increase local content levels, thus reducing dependence on volatile export markets. Deputy Speaker, I also move that the House encourages the automotive sector to leverage available government support programs while exploring diversification opportunities and strengthening local supply chains to enhance resilience in the sector. I also, Deputy Speaker, move that the House commits to supporting budget allocation that will enable continued government assistance to the automotive sector during this critical period while negotiations for improved trade terms continue. I so move. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Pono. Honorable Pongo, I would like you to clarify whether is it, is your motion, are you moving the motion under Rule 130 or 131? Because the nature of the motion is that one of 131. As you have, but you have indicated earlier that you were moving your motion in terms of Rule 130. So I just want that clarity.
Under Rule 130, Deputy Chief Speaker. Thank you.
Okay. As much as the nature of the ruling, of the motion is 130, 130, 131, and you are saying you are moving it in terms of Rule 130, it's fine. I just wanted that clarity. Honorable members, I put the motion.
Agreed.
Thank you very much. I will now call upon Honorable Pillay.
House at large, let me greet you in the name of African National Congress. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I rise to move with notice as per Rule 131 of the Standing Rules of the Eastern Cape Provincial Legislature. This House notes that, according to research, just 7 to 8% of South African schools have operational school libraries, depriving millions of students of access to books and information resources. The situation in the Eastern Cape is similar. Records from the Department of Education shows that 634 libraries are a combination, and some of them are mere classrooms, reading corners, and trolley libraries. Deputy Speaker, school libraries are essential for supporting high-quality teaching and learning, thereby impacting learner achievements and outcomes. There is a growing concern among school library professionals about the apparent lack of a national policy regarding school libraries. The situation is adversely affecting principals and schools of governing bodies in establishing libraries and their institutions because of there is no policy. According to the International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions, IFLA, a school library is a school's physical and digital learning space where reading, inquiry, research, thinking, imagination, and creativity are central to students' information to knowledge journey and to their personal, social, and cultural growth. Numerous studies indicate that inadequate school literacy environments and lack of information literacy development are the main causes of secondary school students' subpar performance in almost all developing nations. This suggests that the literacy level of students in schools is negatively impacted by both poorly established and underfunded school libraries. Deputy Speaker, we further note, as recently as the 20th century, most of the African governments and education ministries and departments have not accepted the idea that library and book provision should be part of the educational investment. Despite the difficulties of school libraries confront, it is indisputable that school libraries contribute the people's literacy in a variety of areas. School libraries operate more or less as physical spaces and have not adopted a newer technology for information access and storage. In contrast to the modern concept of a virtual learning center, due to the department's lack of devoted budget or designated budget, librarians are not appointed, which has a detrimental effect on library operation. Deputy Speaker, there are no designated coordinators in districts when you go and visit that in order to operate the libraries. Lastly, the 2006 UNESCO instruction to all the governments globally to create plans, programs, and strategies to implement the UNESCO's manifesto ideas not followed by majority of the Department of Education across the country, across the province, which is a sad reality. Therefore, this House to resolve the Department of Education in conjunction with Department of Sports, Arts and Recreation and non-governmental organization and the private sector should collaborate and come up with a well-coordinated and articulated policy and strategy to encourage reading among learners. DOE must try to align school libraries' operations, offerings, and objectives with those of teaching and learning. The DOE should ring fence an adequate budget through the norms and standards grant for schools to procure and acquire diverse, quality, and relevant reading material to encourage reading in schools. We further resolve the DOE should roll out more mobile libraries, specifically in a disadvantaged rural communities like Eastern Cape, to enable teachers and students in underprivileged rural communities to access e-reading materials to promote digital and online reading. The Department of Education should leverage its existing contracts with the telephone companies like Vodacom, Telcom, and MTN. And lastly, the DOE should hire committed, competent, and skilled teacher librarians to work full-time in library facilities. I so move. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Pillay. Your motion is noted, and it will be discussed at a later stage in accordance with Rule 113, subsection 1. Thank you. I will now call upon Honorable Kekana to table her motion.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, thank you. Acting Premier, all MEC present, guests in the gallery, Honorable MPLs, support staff, good morning. I move under Rule 130 in terms of incomplete housing project in the province. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I hereby move a notice of a motion in terms of Rule 130 of the standing rules of the Eastern Cape Provincial Legislature. This House notes that there is a persistent housing challenge faced by communities in the Eastern Cape, where thousands of families remain without adequate shelter. Despite the constitutional right to access houses as enshrined in Section 26 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, 1996, recognizes the efforts of the Eastern Cape Provincial Government through the Department of Human Settlements in delivering housing projects and addressing historical backlogs, as highlighted in the 25-26 policy speech and annual performance plan. Acknowledges that while progress has been made in urban housing delivery, rural communities still experience severe delays, poor quality structures, and incomplete projects, which undermines the dignity and safety of the affected residents. Highlights the following areas as emblematic of incomplete and stalled housing projects that demand urgent attention. Its Maritang project in Matatiele, over 400 houses across Ramosla, Kowana, Jabavu, Maluti and Hardenberg remain half-built and roofless since contractor withdrawal in 2022. A new contractor has been appointed with a completion target of June 2025. Mehlolon Waneng housing project in Matatiele area again. Out of a planned 491 houses plus additional units, only 45 have been completed. Many remain foundations, frames, or walls only due to payment dispute and halted constructions. Incomplete housing in Etembeni between Mdantsane and Berlin affirms that commitment of this legislature to ensure that the right to housing is progressively realized for all, in partnership with municipalities, traditional leaders, leadership structures, and community stakeholders, so that the promise of a better life for all becomes a lived reality in the Eastern Cape. Therefore, this House resolved to, urge the Eastern Cape Department of Human Settlements to prioritize the completion of all stalled and incomplete housing projects, particularly in affected areas such as Mariteng, Mesolowaneng, and Etemen between Mdantsane and Berlin, by ensuring proper contractor management and funding allocation and providing a detailed updated report on those projects. Calls upon the provincial government to strengthen oversight mechanisms, accelerate the rectification of defecting housing units, and prioritize the completion of stalled projects in line with the commitments outlined in the Provincial Human Settlement Master Plan, and recommend that municipalities in the Eastern Cape strengthen their planning and monitoring systems in partnership with Department of Human Settlement to ensure infrastructure readiness and prevent future project delays. Appeal to the provincial government to fast-track the rectification of defective housing units, prioritizing vulnerable households, including elderly, women-headed families, and people with disabilities. I so move, Deputy Speaker. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Krikana. Honorable members, I put the motion. Thank you. I will now invite Honorable Kasim to table his motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I hereby move in terms of Rule 131(1) of the Standing Rules that this House, noting that in the past 3 months, several people have been kidnapped in Nelson Mandela Bay, including but not limited to a 38-year-old New Brighton shop owner who was kidnapped on the 11th of June. Lindsay Nolden was abducted from the fresh produce market on the 21st of June. Ebenezer Ebby Williams kidnapped in Clary Estate on the 3rd of July. Chris Caldelis abducted in Shorterville on the 8th of July. Teresa Minnie, Deputy Speaker, who's 73 years old, kidnapped in Kariga on the 11th of August. A Holland Park resident kidnapped on the 13th of August. And these are not all of the kidnappings that have taken place, but just some of them. Further noting that Nelson Mandela Bay has recorded multiple high-profile abductions in a short period of time, that these crimes are not isolated incidents, but part of a sustained wave of violent targeting of residents and business owners. They are a direct threat to livelihoods, jobs, and investment in Nelson Mandela Bay, a metro which is already crippled by unemployment and poor service delivery. The MEC for Community Safety, MEC Kolile Ngata, has claimed that a Hawk standby team and other multidisciplinary interventions are sufficient, but the continuing wave of kidnappings proves that this claim is not entirely correct and demonstrates that current interventions are failing. This House therefore resolves that the MEC for Community Safety must, without delay, engage the Provincial Commissioner and formally request the Minister of Police to establish a permanent 24-hour joint operations centre in Nelson Mandela Bay, led by the Hawks, SAPS, Metro Police, and the NPA. That this joint operations centre must use existing resources across these agencies to avoid duplication and ensure accountability, whilst coordinating real-time intelligence sharing, conducting targeted operations in hotspots, and fast-tracking prosecutions with clear public reporting, not just on arrests, but also on dockets that have been enrolled and convictions that have been secured. And that this plan must include a confidential reporting line for residents and businesses, protection for witnesses, and direct liaison with sector bodies so that information flows quickly and safely. I so move.
Thank you, Honorable Kasim. Your motion is noted, and it will be debated at a later stage in accordance with Rule 113, subsection 1. Thank you. Honorable Hendricks.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker. Honourable Deputy Speaker, I hereby move in terms of Rule 130 of the standing rules of this House, and that this House will note that the National School Nutrition Programme remains one of the most vital interventions to address child hunger, poverty, and educational inequalities in our country. That in the Eastern Cape, more than 1.6 million learners depend on the NSNP. That despite the Department of Education being allocated 1.8 billion rand annually and 5.6 billion rand over the METREF, the reality on the ground remains dire. That in the 2023-24 financial year, several cases of food poisoning were reported at schools, including 340 pupils who were taken to the Barnabas Hospital after 2 food poisoning cases at Ndamasi Secondary School. That between 12 and 15 August in 2025, a total of 169 cases of foodborne illness were reported at Gobisizwe Agricultural School. That the symptoms amongst these learners included abdominal pains, cramps, diarrhea, vomiting, nausea, headaches and dizziness, fever, weakness and dehydration. That all affected learners reported consuming samp, chicken, carrots and beetroot and gravy provided by the school's daily nutrition program. Further noting, Chair, that on the 29th of October 2024, the Eastern Cape Department of Education issued a memorandum to all schools noting that a stance had been taken to ensure that schools implement the food safety policy guidelines as stipulated in the National School Nutrition Programme's revised guidelines. That there is now a growing concern over the widespread non-compliance of school kitchens with basic health and safety standards across the Eastern Cape. That the department has reportedly instructed schools to redirect their savings from learner absenteeism towards kitchen infrastructure, effectively shifting the cost of critical infrastructure onto schools already struggling with severe resource constraints. That in many schools, meals are still being prepared on bare floors in makeshift structures with no proper food storage, hygiene standards, or even safety protocols in place. That out of 712 schools in the Buffalo City and the Amatola West District, only 1 school in Buffalo City and only 3 schools in Amatola West were found to be compliant with basic safety food regulations. That the above is now the subject of legal proceedings to close all non-compliant kitchens, for which the department has to file opposing affidavits by the 3rd of September 2025. Therefore, this House resolves that the recent outbreak of foodborne illness at Gobisizwe Agricultural School be recognized as a warning of systemic failures within the National School Nutrition Programme. Secondly, a full province-wide audit of all school kitchen infrastructure and food preparation facilities must be commissioned by the department with clear timelines, public reporting, and an action plan to address non-compliance. That 3, the Eastern Cape Education Department ring-fence dedicated funding within the education infrastructure grant for safe and compliant kitchen infrastructure, equipment and food safety training. That the MEC of Education table a comprehensive report before this House outlining 1, the current state of kitchen infrastructure, 2, the extent of non-compliance, 3, plans to address the kitchen infrastructure backlogs, and 4, enforcing protocols and all measures for evaluation of compliance. And then finally, further calls for the development of enforceable provincial norms and standards for school kitchen safety and operations in collaboration with the Department of Health and other relevant stakeholders. I so move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Hendricks. Honorable members, I put the motion. Any objections? Thank you. Honorable King.
I hereby move in terms of Rule 130 of the Standing Rules that this House, noting the continuing scourge of gender-based violence in the Eastern Cape, where Komani alone reported 158 cases of rape between April 2024 and March 2025, that alcohol and drug abuse are exacerbating the increase in domestic violence in the Chris Hani district, that recently alleged assault of a woman in Tendergate, reportedly repeated by a public representative in the Enoch and Kichima local municipality, that while suspension of an implicated councillor is necessary, it is not sufficient to demonstrate a zero-tolerance approach to GBV, that political leaders cannot turn a blind eye to abuses in their midst, and that action speaks louder than words when it comes to eradicating gender-based violence. That this month, dedicated to women, requires leaders and institutions to set the example by protecting women and advancing gender justice. Therefore, this House resolved: 1. Law enforcement must investigate the matter thoroughly and without fear or favor to ensure justice is served swiftly. That all political parties and leaders reaffirm their commitment to accountability, respect, and zero tolerance of abuse where they have the power to act, they act decisively. That this House reaffirms its commitment to advancing a society where women are safe, respected, and empowered. I so move.
Thank you, Honorable King. Honorable members, I put the motion. Thank you very much. We will now quickly move to member statements. We only have 2 member statements. Honorable Fihlani, the floor is yours.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, the connectivity in schools. We're saying, Honorable Deputy Speaker, we note with appreciation the final phase of the Eastern Cape schools broadband or Wi-Fi project, which will extend Wi-Fi connectivity to the remaining 529 schools and complete the rollout to all 2,029 broadband connected schools in the province. Whilst we acknowledge the department's commitment to improving the quality of connectivity, enhancing user support, and ensuring that schools outside the broadband project receive mobile routers to maintain basic internet access, we also recognize the importance of securing funding for the successful implementation of the department's ICT strategy and digital evolution strategy over the MTEF, with target of achieving 60% implementation over the next 5 years. The success of the Mandla Makupula Education Leadership Institute's education broadcast solution, which provides virtual session lessons through cloud broadcasting and satellite options, producing high-quality, curriculum-aligned content to support learners, particularly in disadvantaged areas, is highly acknowledgeable and deeply appreciated. Honorable Deputy Speaker, we need to commit to ensuring connectivity in every school to a reliable internet that is no longer a luxury, but an essential requirement for quality education, fostering critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and technology literacy among learners. And we call upon the Office of the Premier, the Department of Education, and all stakeholders involved to prioritize universal school. And as a catalyst for equitable learning opportunities and improved educational outcomes in our province, the Eastern Cape. I so move, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Fihlani. Honorable Hendricks.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. As the Democratic Alliance, we welcome the suspension of the Chief Director of Infrastructure within the Education Department. Although the reasons for the suspension have not yet been released, this suspension follows a tenure during which the Infrastructure Directorate deteriorated into a department's worst performing division with a staggering infrastructure backlog of 82 billion rand, which by the MEC's own admission could take us more than 40 years to resolve. Honourable Speaker, the members of this House have seen firsthand the daily reality for thousands of learners in this province. The Infrastructure Directorate is the division most directly responsible for these overcrowded classrooms, dilapidated school buildings, the lack of hostels, the glacial pace of eradicating pit latrines, and the departmental financial loss of 33 million to abandoned infrastructure projects between 2020 and 2022. With at least 89 school infrastructure projects left incomplete today. As the Democratic Alliance, we view the suspension as a potential turning point wherein consequence management is the rule and not the exception, one which serves as an opportunity for the department to demonstrate that accountability is not optional and that underperformance will no longer be rewarded with silence and inaction. We anticipate full transparency after the disciplinary proceedings have concluded. The children of the province deserve a department that is honest about its limitations and prepared to confront the scale of the challenges head-on. Honourable Speaker, while we support the suspension as a first step, it must be made unequivocally clear that the removal of a single official does not equate institutional reform, nor does it absolve the department of its broader challenges. As the Democratic Alliance, we commend the MEC Fundile Gade and the HOD Sharon Maasdorp on this shared commitment towards demanding accountability for the children of the Eastern Cape. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Hendricks. I will now invite the Honorable Acting Premier to respond. You have 10 minutes together with the MECs that will be responding or assisting yourself in responding. Over to you, Honorable MEC Mvoko.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Greetings to you, greetings to all the honorable members in the House. On the first motion, the journey has been very long. All we can say is that the progress being made is a commitment by the department in ensuring that the objective of rolling out the broadband and reaching to schools is being fulfilled. So we wish to commit to that, as the honourable member has indicated. On the second one about the suspension, I think we must agree that let's allow the process to happen in case anything we say here might work against us. Thank you very much, Honourable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC Mvoko. We'll now quickly move to our next item. I will now invite the Secretary to read the first order of the day.
Consideration of the report of the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs on hearings of 7 municipalities.
Thank you very much, Secretary. I will now invite Honorable Konza to the presentation. You have 20 minutes, Honorable Konza, and it starts now.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Let me greet you, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, the Acting Premier, the Chief Whip, Chair of Chairs, as their offices, honorable members, MECs, guests that are watching, and those that are here in the House. Honorable Speaker, let me present the report by the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs on the visit or the hearings and meetings and sessions that we had with 7 local municipalities within the province. I'll start, Honorable Deputy Speaker, with the terms of reference as this is presented for the first time in the House by the committee. The terms of reference of the committee were to meet with 7 municipalities in the provinces in order to, A, assess the extent to which the municipalities are complying with various legislative and other service delivery obligations, B, to assess the support that is being rendered by the provincial department responsible for cooperative governance and traditional affairs, as well as the provincial treasury, C, to assess progress made and challenges encountered by municipalities in responding to the consolidated Section 71, Quarter 1 and Quarter 2, and the AG's reports. D, to recommend further actions or support from the department to the municipalities. The method of work. The Portfolio Committee invited the mayors, speakers, chief whips, municipal managers, chief financial officers, and the chairpersons of MPECs. This was done in order to give each municipality an opportunity to express itself before the Portfolio Committee. The presentations of the various municipalities were complemented by the observations of the Auditor General on 23-24 audit outcomes, observations of the Provincial Treasury on the consolidated Section 71 reports, as well as COCTA and SALGA Eastern Cape observations, who were all present in the session. The meetings were held on the 11th April and 13th of May 2025 at Dolim Zaidume Committee Room. The following municipalities were invited: Buffalo City Metro, Sakisizo Local Municipality of Krisani, Sundays River of Sarah Batman, Inguza Hill of Oar Tambo, Makana Local Municipality from Sarah Batman, Raymond Mhlaba Local Municipality from Amatole, and Walter Sisulu Local Municipality from Joe Qabi. I will straight shoot to the recommendations of the 7 municipalities, Honorable Deputy Speaker. On Buffalo City, the department must assist the municipality to establish a dedicated compliance and consequence management unit to investigate and oversee procurement governance in order to ensure that officials who are responsible for irregular decisions are held accountable. B, the department must assist the municipality to develop proper systems that are compliant with the MFMA and SCM regulations. C, the department must assist the municipality to implement early procurement planning mechanisms to eliminate procurement deviations. D, on finding D, which deals with evergreen consulting contracts which were signed before the enactment of the MFMA and continued to operate with their intended beyond their intended lifespan, the department must assist the municipality to review these contracts with a view to determine value for money, regularity of the contracts, and appropriate steps to be taken by the municipality in order to prevent future irregular expenditure and deal with irregular expenditure which has been incurred in respect of these contracts. E, the departments must ensure that the audit action plan of the municipality is submitted to the Auditor General for review so that the municipality is helped towards improving its audit outcomes. F, the department must assist the municipality to develop a standard policy in line with the GRAP standards that details the capitalization process for all completed immovable assets. G, in order to help the municipality improve its revenue collection, the department must investigate whether a sufficient allocation of capital budget has been made for infrastructure maintenance. Reducing water and electricity losses will assist the municipality to achieve this goal. H, in accordance with Sections 32 and Circular 68 of the Municipal Finance Management Act of 2003, the department must collaborate with the South African Local Government Association to furnish the requisite training and capacity building to the Municipal Public Accounts Committee. This will assist the MPAC to investigate the irregular expenditures. The department must provide the necessary support to the municipality to ensure that, to ensure the review of irregularity of the panel contracts and appropriate steps which may be taken in cases where some of these contracts have been irregularly awarded. J, the department must support the municipality to undertake a comprehensive audit and update of the indigent register to ensure that all qualifying households are identified and included. A clear plan with targets and timelines should be developed and submitted to the committee. The department, as K, must ensure that the municipality strengthens the performance management systems with a more robust service delivery accountability framework. This includes, but not limited to, regular quarterly reviews of the integrated development plan, targets versus expenditure, and enforcement of consequence management for underperformance or fruitless and wasteful expenditure. For Sakisizo, Honorable Deputy Speaker, that is in Krisani, the recommendations are as follows. The department must ensure that the Municipal Public Accounts Committee is capacitated to be able to investigate irregular expenditure as prescribed, and that a consequence management is applied against those who are responsible for the irregular expenditure. B, IGR must be strengthened, and the department, working with the Office of the Premier, must enhance IGR platforms, and focus must be placed on ensuring that all government departments always attend these platforms. C, the department must support the municipality in the efforts to recover this money and to also ensure that it has a dedicated contracts management unit. Let me read the finding that has this money that is spoken about. The municipality does not have a dedicated contracts management unit, and as a result, a law firm saw an opportunity of defrauding the municipality of an amount of 4.5 million, and the municipality is trying to recover this money. Hence, there is this recommendation that they should be assisted to recover the money. D, the department, working together with the municipality and taking into consideration the available budget and cost pressure, must ensure that critical vacant funded posts are filled. E, the department must provide the necessary support to the municipality to develop a credible fixed asset register that will assist in the improvement of its audit outcomes from a qualified to an unqualified opinion. F, the department, working with the provincial treasury, must assist and strictly monitor the municipality with the implementation of its audit action plan so that it improves its audit outcomes. G, the department must assist the municipality to improve its revenue collection by ensuring that municipality strictly implements its credit control and debit collection policies. H, the capacity of the budget and treasury office must be built so that the annual financial statements are compiled internally without the use of consultants. A report on the skills transfer done by the consultants to the municipality must be provided to this committee within 30 days of the adoption of this report. I, the department must provide the necessary support to the municipality on the development of a credible indigent policy and register in order to ensure that free basic services are accessible to deserving indigent households. J, the department must investigate these allegations and ensure that corrective measures are taken against these councillors or officials if they are found guilty on the breach of conduct. This was related to a finding that there is leaking of information, internal information by either officials or councillors in the Sakisizo municipality. The department must engage with the Department of Environmental Affairs to ensure that the landfill site license is renewed and to ensure that a compliance certificate is obtained. I must say, as I go to Sundays River local municipality recommendations, Honorable Deputy Speaker, that this Sakisizo municipality continues to be in the media for wrong reasons. and that is why the committee invited them as well. Recommendations on the Sundays River one. A, the department must provide the necessary support to the municipality in building internal capacity to produce credible in-house annual financial statements without the use of consultants. B, the department must, in collaboration with the provincial treasury, immediately institute an investigation into the procurement deviations and related transactions in Sundays River municipality. C, the department must assist the municipality in ensuring that the ICT steering committee is sitting in order to realize the objectives of the policy imperatives. D, the department must assist the municipality to develop a revenue enhancement strategy that will assist the municipality to implement its credit control and debit collection policy to ensure financial viability of the municipality. E, the Municipal Public Accounts Committee must be capacitated for it to be able to investigate irregular expenditure as required by law, and consequence management must be applied to those who are responsible for the irregular expenditure. F, the department must assist the municipality to fix the wastewater treatment plants, since raw sewer has significant environmental and health hazard consequences. G, the department must provide necessary support to the municipality to develop and implement a credible electronic record-keeping system. H, the department, working with provincial treasury, must provide necessary support to the municipality to enable it to fully implement its audit action plan, as this will help the municipality to improve its audit outcomes. I, the department must assist the municipality to improve its revenue collection by ensuring a credible billing system is put in place and implemented. Further, the tampering with municipal water and electricity networks must be reported to the relevant law enforcement agencies. Under Inguza Hill Municipality in OR Tambo recommendations, the department, working with the provincial treasury, must provide the necessary support to the municipality to enable it to conduct a declared review of calculations for the values of assets in the fixed assets register, in order to ensure that all assets are valued properly in terms of GRAP 17 principles. B, the department must assist the municipality to appoint an asset manager that will help it to improve on asset management. C, the department must support the municipality to fully implement an audit action plan that for the aforementioned municipality to improve its audit outcomes. D, the department must provide support to the Municipal Public Accounts Committee to investigate the irregular expenditure in line with Section 32 and Circular 68 of the Municipal Finance Management Act. E, the department must assist the municipality to improve its revenue collection by ensuring that it is strictly implemented, or it is strictly implementing its credit control and debit collection policies. F, the department must assist the municipality to apply for an additional allocation for disaster relief funding. G, the department must, in collaboration with the Office of the Premier and Provincial Treasurer, ensure that the disaster development model assists this municipality and others in accordance with the government activities. H, the department must engage the Office of the Premier to ensure that the small towns revitalization projects of flex staff are resuscitated and completed. For Raymond Mhlaba recommendations in the Amatole region, recommendation A, the department must assist the municipality to capacitate the MPEC to discharge its functions properly in ensuring that the irregular expenditure is investigated. I think members see the trend that MPECs seem to have a problem in all the municipalities that we dealt with. The department must, in B, assist the municipality to strictly implement its audit action plan so that it can move to an unqualified audit opinion. In C, the department must assist the municipality to review its rules of order and the delegation policy. D, the department must provide the necessary legal support to the municipality to enable it to develop bylaws that will prevent illegal trading with the aim of improving revenue and to promote job creation and local economic development. E, the department must assist the municipality in its endeavors to recouping the said amount from this legal firm. This is a legal firm that was given lots of money for it to assist the municipality, but it ran away with it. The department, working with the provincial treasury and the office of the premier, must provide the committee with a plan on how provincial government will pay municipal debt. G, the department must assist the municipality to reduce the COE to an acceptable treasury norm. H, the department must engage with the Department of Human Settlements and provide necessary support to the municipality to improve on its implementation of the Human Settlement Development Grant. I, the department must assist the municipality to appoint board of directors for the agency and to ensure that it is liquid enough to pay for its liabilities. This is a concern as well. Makana Local Municipality, under recommendations. A, the department must consider taking other appropriate measures of intervention in terms of Section 139 of the Constitution to ensure the effectiveness of the intervention in this municipality. B, the department must work with the Office of the Premier and Provincial Treasury to work out a plan on how to assist this municipality to get out of the disclaimer audit opinion that it has obtained for several years. C, the department must assist the municipality to commence with a process of investigating and dealing with the fruitless and wasteful expenditure. D, the department must assist the municipality to develop a revenue enhancement strategy to ensure that it adopts a funded budget. E, the department and provincial treasury must provide the municipality with support in putting in place a credible accounting system that will assist the municipality to have credible information about its budget. F, the department must assist the municipality to capacitate its MPEC and the disciplinary board to investigate and reduce this very high irregular expenditure. G, the department must assist the municipality to develop a credible electronic record-keeping system. H, working with the municipality, the department must ensure that all councillors and officials that owe the municipality do pay for their services rendered to them. I, the department must assist the municipality to aggressively implement its audit action plan so that it can get out of the disclaimer audit opinion. J, the department must provide the committee with a report on the consequence management applied against this official. A report to this regard must be submitted to the committee within 30 days of the presentation of this report. For Walter Sisulu, local municipality in Joe Gabi, the recommendations are as follows. I will read finding A because it is important. The municipality was terminated from ESCOM debt relief program due to non-maintenance of the monthly ESCOM bulk account, which escalated from 537 million in February 2023 to 770 million in March 2025. This is a small municipality for that amount of debt. The department, therefore, must engage with the Office of the Premier, National and Provincial Treasury to help this municipality to come out of this financial quagmire. B, the department must assist the municipality to develop a funding plan that will ensure that it adopts a funded budget. C, working with SALGA, the department must capacitate the Municipal Public Accounts Committee in order to investigate irregular expenditure and to ensure that there is consequence management against those who are responsible for it. D, the department must assist the municipality to develop a register that will ensure that all work in progress projects are assessed for impairment. E, the department must work with the provincial treasury to deliver a revenue enhancement strategy that will ensure that the financial position of the municipality is liquid. F, the department must assist the municipality to develop a retention strategy that will attract and keep suitable staff for the municipality. This is a concern. The department in G must assist the municipality to produce in-house its annual financial statements without the use of consultants. H, The department must engage National Treasury with respect to the formula used in the allocation of the equitable share for this municipality and all the municipalities of the Eastern Cape. Under general recommendations, the department must submit to the committee a detailed plan on how it is assisting the municipalities to improve in revenue collection and how it is ensuring that they strictly implement their credit control and debt collection policies. B, the department must, in collaboration with the South African Local Government Association, provide necessary training and capacity building in line with Section 32 and Circular 68 of the Municipal Finance Management Act of 2003 to MPEX. A progress report must be submitted to the committee in this regard. C, the department must assist the municipalities to develop a standard policy in line with the GRAP standards. D, the department, in collaboration with provincial treasury, must assist municipalities to strengthen and implement the ISM controls. E, the department must enforce municipalities to report regularly on how they are implementing strict consequence management framework and take disciplinary actions against officials
2 minutes left.
responsible for irregular procurement and recovery of financial losses where applicable. This should include reporting of serious misconduct to relevant law enforcement agencies and oversight bodies. In conclusion, Honorable Deputy Speaker and honorable members, on behalf of the Portfolio Committee on COGTA, we earnestly thank the slot that was provided for us for tabling this crucial report for the first time. We further request that such opportunity be allocated sooner after such hearings so that we can follow sooner on the commitments made and therefore strengthen implementation of the recommendations as resolutions of the House. In that way, oversight will be strengthened with even more impact as further interactions with municipalities will be structured, action plan based on House resolutions. Even with those municipalities we are meeting in the coming months, even with those municipalities we are to meet in the coming months. We thank the Office of the AG, the Provincial Treasury, SALGA, for the support, and the Department of COGTA, and the municipalities for cooperation. We thank our team as well. Thank you so much, Honorable Deputy Speaker Mapwan.
Thank you so much, Honorable Konza. Are there any clarities to the committee? Thank you. Oh, yeah, Honorable Chief Whip.
No, thanks, Deputy Speaker. If it's going to be a clarity, you will then determine whether it's a clarity worth asking or maybe something else. Look, I'm looking at Makana, the findings. In finding A and recommendation A, finding says, Imakana for 14 years, it has been under Section 139. The recommendation says the department must consider taking other appropriate measures of intervention in terms of Section 139. Now, my interest is if for 14 years it has been under this section, what other measures are contained in the same section, which for 14 years have not been exhausted, that the report suggests that the department must do? Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Whip. Honorable Knutze?
Honourable Deputy Speaker, mine is a clarity to the MEC, not the committee. So.
Oh, okay. That was, I guess that was the only clarity to the committee. Honorable, not necessarily Honorable Konza, but committee, you can respond. Thank you, Chair. Honorable Kwanzaa has read a very long report. Chairperson, good morning to you and honorable members. What the committee has done is a thorough assessment which has established that for a longest period of time, this municipality has not been able to fix the traction right. What the sections under Section 139 infer, which we expect the department to consider, is capacity building of that municipality, an overall capacitation of the municipality to fulfill its constitutional obligation. 2, institutional strengthening. Strengthen the institution to be able to withstand the inherent and responsibilities bestowed to the municipality by the Constitution. Thirdly, a continuous monitoring and evaluation. That department must continuously ensure that is happening. And fourthly, consider reviewing. Because some of these things are happening because the available policies in the municipality are not able to assist the municipality. Consider reviewing some of the policies available. And then lastly, ensure that stakeholders are taken on board, and all the time they fully participate and engaged in the municipal activities. The last point, which I think the AG has also picked up, is that the intervention in the municipality is action-based and short-term. We want a thoroughgoing support intervention in that municipality, not a short-term activity-based intervention. We want a continuous support that will take the municipality out of the quagmire it finds itself under. Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you very much, Honorable Matiwane. To the MEC.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. My question of clarity to the MEC is with regards to the consequence managed framework to enforce reporting on consequence management from municipalities. So the MEC has previously indicated that there is no provincial framework for that. Can I just ask, what are we doing then to make sure that municipalities are actually enforcing consequence management and reporting on that? Thanks, Honourable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Greetings to you, members of the executive and the members of the House, our people in the gallery, and our communities in the social media platforms of our legislature. Well, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the local government has a legislated framework on matters of consequence management. There may be challenges in implementing those various frameworks that are there, but labor relations and discipline is actually implemented where it is happening. And as a province, we can only work on those cases that are escalated to our level to deal with. But furthermore, that work has to be done at the level where misconduct is committed. So it becomes a bit intricate for us to interfere in that particular process because it's about the employer-employee relations at a shop floor level. And I'm saying then, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the problem is that it is nationally regulated. You can't therefore have a provincial framework on a nationally regulated with unions participating at that level. So now once you introduce something that suits you as a province, it has to be negotiated at that level, including SALGA and our department and Treasury in the mix. So it's quite a complex arrangement that is currently existing in local government. But where we are really informed of certain cases of misconduct, were able to hold accountable. But the reality is that MPEX seems to be incapacitated to take us towards consequence management implementation. That's where we think, as the report says, we need to work on to try and deal with such matters. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. Honorable members, we are joined in the gallery by two councillors from Umzimvubu local municipality, Councillor Ndanele Mtsinwa, and Councillor Langa Nokakala, who is the chief whip. It's the speaker and the chief whip. Nabayabo babili. Namkelekile ke kulendlu usomthetho councillors. Siyabulela, siyavuya kakhulu ukuba nani namhlanje. Inkosi. Honorable members, as we proceed, I will now invite the Democratic Alliance. Honorable King, you have 13 minutes, and your 13 minutes starts now.
Honourable Deputy Speaker, the story of municipalities in the Eastern Cape is a story of betrayal. Betrayal of trust, betrayal of the Constitution, and betrayal of the very people who rely on government for dignity and survival. Our communities are plagued by water shortages, electricity outages, sewage spills, and collapsing roads. Municipalities in the Eastern Cape have become synonymous with maladministration, corruption, and a lack of accountability. Instead of being engines of development, municipalities have become graveyards of broken promises. As we approach local government elections next year, we need to take stock of the state of the Eastern Cape municipalities. Whilst we are mindful of the fact that the Eastern Cape is indeed a vast rural province with many ensuing challenges, it is a fact that the state of many of our municipalities leaves much to be desired. Given the nature of our challenges in our province, there should be no excuse for this type of poor governance and continued failures for our people. I'm certain that our people will make their voices heard and punish the underperforming politicians responsible for these failures at the polls next year. It would be remiss of me not to single out two of our best performing municipalities in the Eastern Cape. Koga Local Municipality and Sengu Local Municipality have proven that notwithstanding the fact that they face the very same problems as their Eastern Cape counterparts, they've overcome these problems. We need to acknowledge this good work and encourage other municipalities to strive to achieve similar outcomes. Speaker, the DA wholeheartedly supports the report before us and welcomes this refreshed approach to finding solutions for our ailing and failing municipal administrations. It was certainly an eye-opening experience to engage with our local government leadership on some of the problems they face on a daily basis. That said, it is clear that some of our universal problems these councils are facing is self-inflicted. Lack of adequate financial controls, underperforming MPEX, broken supply chain systems, and the appointment of unqualified or inexperienced senior personnel on common threats amongst municipalities interviewed during this process. Political instability in places such as Buffalo City is of great concern, with infighting within the ruling party definitely having a negative impact on the municipality. The ANC leadership of Buffalo City are at pains to work together as one ANC caucus because of different factions. We cannot wait for the pain that will be inflicted on them when they are forced to govern that metro in coalition with other caucuses come 2023. Talking about Buffalo City, the electricity losses of the metro are a cause for massive concern. We have seen how dysfunctional electricity departments can bring financial ruin to municipalities, as in the case of Enoch Ngijima. Buffalo City must take the difficult decisions now to reduce electricity losses. In Saki Sizwe and Nguza Hill, the municipal public accounts committees are totally dysfunctional. This is not a unique problem that only impacts these municipalities. However, when one looks at the lack of progress with dealing with the unauthorized, irregular, and fruitless and wasteful expenditure, or the stagnation in dealing with the respective audit plans in a municipality, it becomes clear that our MPECs are not functioning optimally. It is against this backdrop that the DA has suggested that we invite delegations from respective municipalities to our own SCOPA committees so that the members serving on the MPECs can experience firsthand what is expected of them from an oversight committee. We note that Sakisizwe also received a 10 million rand fine because of an unlicensed landfill site. This is an indictment of the political leadership of this municipality, who should actually be held personally accountable for this substantial loss to a municipality that can ill afford it. That said, again, this is not the only landfill site that is unlicensed in the province, and we want to urge GOCTA to sensitize municipalities around the ramifications of not adhering to licensing requirements for landfill sites and transfer stations. The Financial and Fiscal Commission's report on 2026-27 Division of Revenue correctly stated that, open quote, finance must follow function, close quote. Misalignment between assigned functions and allocated resources result in unfunded mandates, service delivery failures, and the erosion of public trust. The fact that so many of our municipalities still adopt unfunded budgets, such as Sundays River local municipality, is a cause of massive concern. It is clear that provincial treasury just does not possess the necessary teeth to take action against these wayward municipalities. When unfunded budgets are adopted because municipalities are trying to prevent the pain of cutting back on expenditure, it only leads to more service delivery pains at a later stage. This type of financial management can no longer be accepted and needs to be dealt with harshly by both GOCTA and provincial treasury. In both Makana and Walter Sisulu, we have made little to no progress with financial turnaround plans. Makana in particular stands as the clearest example of how prolonged intervention without enforcement has failed municipalities, more than 14 years since its financial recovery plan was instituted. This prolonged stagnation is not merely a reflection of municipal challenges, but it is also an indictment on the department's lack of urgency and commitment to ensuring that these municipalities reach and, more importantly, sustain financial stability. The facts speak for themselves. Makana has received 5 consecutive disclaimer audit opinions from the AG, confirming the complete absence of credible financial records and pervasive non-compliance with the MFNA. Service delivery has collapsed in Makana. The flagship James Kleinans water treatment works upgrade, meant to double water capacity, has ballooned from 160 million to over 700 million and remains non-functional. 14 years of intervention without tangible improvement raises serious questions about the effectiveness of the department's oversight and the political will to decisively address chronic dysfunctionality. It is essential to underscore that financial sustainability is the cornerstone of effective local government. Without sound financial management, municipalities cannot provide reliable service, cannot maintain infrastructure, and cannot create an environment conducive to economic development. Communities ultimately bear the brunt of this failure. It was evident during the interactions with the MEC, Williams, and these municipalities that Section 139 interventions designed to address failing municipalities are often ineffective in achieving long-term improvements and strengthening municipal accountability. It fails to address the root cause of dysfunction and leads to repeated interventions. On this basis, the DA calls on the department to urgently review how it implements its current intervention strategies, impose clear timelines with measurable outcomes, and strengthen enforcement mechanisms to ensure that financial recovery plans are not treated as indefinite exercises, but as decisive roadmaps towards sustainable governance. Anything less risks perpetuating a cycle of dependency and dysfunction in our municipalities. At the same time, We want to implore the department to consider deploying more Section 154 support packages in future. We have a constitutional obligation to support and strengthen the capacity of municipalities. This means we must act proactively. We shouldn't wait until such time as municipalities collapse before we offer assistance and support to them. By intervening early, Section 154 measures, we stand a far better chance of building municipalities that are financially sustainable, service-driven, and capable of meeting the needs of their community. The DA supports this report before us. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable King. Honorable Mngocho. As Honorable Mngocho is making his way to the front, allow me also to welcome and acknowledge the presence of Mr. Uzuko Mneno, who is participating in the Democratic Alliance National Youth Leader Program and is mentored by Honorable Kauli and is today shadowing Honorable Kauli, the fishwife. Amkelekile apha kwendlu yosomthetho nto yakuthi hanga ngenye imini sakubona uhlela apha ezantsi kweli cala lingapha kodwa. Thank you. Honorable Mngocho, you have 5 minutes and it starts now.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Greetings to you. Greetings to the Acting Premier, honorable members, nabantu bonke abakhona apha kwigalari. We have appreciated the meeting with the municipalities and demand that there must be action. UDM has observed these municipalities are unable to meet their targets, and that is a concern. The report states that some municipalities have high utilization of panel contracts, which some are irregularly awarded, and there are no consequences or willingness even from those municipalities to correct the situation. These people are continuously deployed into positions into these municipalities whilst they continuously show the inability to correct the situation of underperformance. There are no control measures or no alignment on the utilization of resources versus the service delivery outcome and the service delivery outcomes. These municipalities are also failing to follow procurement processes, and there are no consequences as corrective measures. We have also noted that these municipalities have dysfunctional systems that impact to their inability to properly manage their finances and implement planned projects and deliver basic services. These municipalities sometimes don't comply with the required standards, despite the support provided, and you find no willingness from them also to correct that situation. We further note that sometimes we may request the department to provide guidance or support, but if the caliber of the people are good only in singing, but don't meet the standard of positions where they are appointed, we will sit with these problems up until they are recognized. We also note that these appointed people in these positions, they are learned people, but we must please note that education provides knowledge, but the dedication and efforts are more crucial for achieving competence. Deployment of incompetent people in municipalities is leading to poor services delivered and also impacts negative to the local economic development. The awarding of the contracts through deviations against the supply chain management is an indication that these municipalities don't adhere to legislation and regulations. These observations signal that these municipalities are doomed to be in the state of failure, and as a result, they also failed to discharge their responsibilities. Communities, Honorable Deputy Speaker, are fed up of that laxity, and they lost hope because of the incompetence of these municipalities to provide them with services. Whilst we note that, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Section 139 has been implemented in some of these municipalities, we request that, as resolved in the committee, that a further action must be followed up. We are basing that, Honorable Deputy Speaker, on the failure to fulfill the executive obligations and because they have faced the financial crisis. The reason for the demand is that it is because we expected these municipalities to provide the leadership responsibility of getting their people from where they are now to where they have not been. But seemingly, that objective won't be achievable. It is on that reason, Chair, Honorable Deputy Speaker, that we request that there must be a harsh corrective arrangement. Thank you.
Thank you, yes. Thank you, Honorable Ocho. Next time you must bring your iPad because we want to see it. You must account. Over to you, Honorable May. Yes, that's what I'm avoiding. That's my responsibility as the chairperson of the Internal Arrangements Committee. I want that iPad next time.
Thank you.
Honorable May, you have 3 minutes and it starts now.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Dit is duidelik dat die 7 munisipaliteite basies dieselfde probleme het. As daar na die inkomste en uitgawes van munisipaliteite gekyk word, is hulle nie finansiëel volhoubaar nie. Munisipale tariewe in die afgelope jare met meer dan inflasie gestyg. As ons maar net kyk na krag, elke jaar bo 10%. Maar wat gebeur met die inwoners van so 'n munisipaliteit? Hulle salarisverhogings is gekoppel aan inflasie. Wat sê dit? Dit word al hoe moeiliker vir die inwoners om hulle munisipale rekenings te betaal. Dan die steel van krag neem by die dag toe. Dit kan nie so voortgaan nie. Die wetteloosheid is besig om Suid-Afrika te vernietig. Ek praat van polisiebeamptes wat betrokke is al by die gegaan het om hierdie kragdrade te verwyder. Hulle sê die hele gemeenskap kom en dan moet hulle onttrek. 'n Ander groot probleem in Suid-Afrika is kontrakteurs. Ons is nou al 30 jaar in Suid-Afrika en elke jaar hoor ons die storie van kontrakteurs wat steel en bedrog pleeg. Ek vra myself die vraag, is daar nie eerlike kontrakteurs in Suid-Afrika nie? Is daar nie? Hoe is dit moontlik? Of is die mense wat die kontrakteurs aanwys, is hulle dalk deel van die probleem? Ek wil vir u sê dat kontrakteurs kos hierdie land miljoene der miljoene per jaar en dit is totaal onaanvaarbaar want ons weet onvoltooide projekte staan baie keer tot 8 en 10 jaar. Bedrog. Ons het nou gesien hier by Buffalo City waar 'n amptenaar meer dan 4 miljoen inbetaal in die verbandrekening van 'n prokureur. Nie in die trustrekening nie. Nou probeer hulle die geld herwin. Hoe is dit moontlik dat ek as 'n amptenaar geld in die verbandrekening van 'n prokureur kan inbetaal? Is daai persoon al aangespreek? Is daar enige kriminele klagtes gelê? Of gaan dit maar net doodloop? Aanstellings van konsultante. Ons het gesien by 2 geleenthede waar konsultante aangestel word teen 3 miljoen per jaar. Die idee is om kundiges op te lei sodat hulle in die toekoms nodig sal wees nie. Maar munisipaliteite aanvaar dit as vanselfsprekend en stel elke jaar maar net weer die konsultante aan. Daar is ook te veel vakante poste in die munisipaliteite en dit verhoed dat werk behoorlik gedoen kan word. Invorderings het gedaal tussen 70 en 74%, terwyl nasionale norm 94% is. Een van die belangrikste dinge van die munisipaliteit is infrastruktuur. Hoekom sê ek infrastruktuur?
Dit is op, agbare.
Dankie. Dit is wanneer mense gaan belê.
Dankie.
Dankie, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. I will now invite the African National Congress, Honorable Koboshiani. You have 20 minutes, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Let me take this opportunity to also welcome the humbling results that we have received from the IEC early this morning, confirming that the African National Congress has won Ward 6 in KSD areas of Southern Wood and Fort Gale areas and the hospital, which is Mthatha General. We are not taking this for granted. Instead, we are welcoming it with all the humility it deserves. And to us, it is a call for us to do more as the communities in the area are demanding. Honorable Deputy Speaker, we meet in this important month of August, which is our history and the political calendar that carries a deep meaning. Mama Lillian Ngoyi, Helen Joseph, Rahima Musa, as well as Sophie William DeBrain, and mothers and sisters of conscience could not withstand and allow gender oppression, race oppression, and class oppression to exist in this country. Umcinezeli owayengena bulungisa nanimba. Uthi kwelamangesi ethetha into ebhadleyo noxa yena wayeliqotha qikili engena msebenzi nomuntu ongumama nomuntu omnyama kweli lizwe. And I quote her, "Any woman who understands the problem of running a home will be nearer to understand the problems of running a country," close quote. And that was Margaret Thatcher in 1979, the year she became the Prime Minister. And the irony is that in her first cabinet as a female, she appointed an all-male dominated cabinet. And only Margaret Thatcher herself, who was a lady in that cabinet. And I think as a head of that government during that period, it's a call for us to reconscientize our minds about these circumstances. But I want to also confirm that women arrive in small groups, as the large gatherings in South Africa were banned by authorities, and this is during also the time of the white minority regime. More than 20,000 women in attendance, carrying more than 100,000 signatures in that petition on that day. And they were marching to Pretoria to ensure that they hand over those particular petitions. And the Prime Minister's secretary during that day, as minister then, the Prime Minister stridom, literally hysterical about the resoluteness of the women during that march. The women, honorable members, stood in silence for 30 minutes before singing the national anthem, Nkosi Sikelel' iAfrika, and unveiling a new song or slogan, "Wathinta abafazi, wathinta imbokodo, you strike the woman, you strike a rock." Since 1956, a new revolution fueled the energy. Bomama be-Afrika bhinqani izikhakha, ilizwe lifile kunyembelekile. Amandla ngawethu, ilizwe lelethu, sawuthini na, soyaphi iAfrika likhaya. This month is therefore not only a Women's Month, but also a reminder of the African National Congress' historical role in advancing gender equality, human dignity, and justice for all. It was the ANC that ensured women become part of the legislative assemblies, part of the local government leadership, and part of shaping policies that empower families and communities. As we consider this report, Honorable Deputy Speaker, of the portfolio on cooperative governance and traditional affairs, let us reflect on this legacy without hesitation. Just as the ANC fought for freedom and inclusion, today we continue to fight for accountability in local municipalities, clean governance, and improved service delivery that reaches our mothers, our daughters, our sons, and our communities at large. Women occupy 39% of senior level positions in local government. Women make up of 39% of municipal councillors, with representation relatively steady over time. And I recall in 2015, 39% of councillors were females. Mayoral positions, women hold 38% of mayoral positions, although this is lower than I think, before, and we anticipated. Only in Gauteng and Eastern Cape, women hold 48.5% and 46.3% of mayoral committee positions, respectively. The ANC's leadership throughout our history is a constant reminder on our leadership that transformation is not an accident. It is the result of deliberate policies, sacrifices, and oversight led by the leading party. Honorable Deputy Speaker, we rise to support the report of the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, following its engagement with 7 municipalities across our province. And this report reflects a robust oversight work of the committee, the good and the ugly, and the hope over despair. The ANC has consistently championed accountability, service delivery, transformation in the local government state. And this report is evidence of the ANC unwavering commitment to ensure municipalities serve the people better, with greater agility and purpose. Our Constitution enshrines the right to basic services, clean governance, and accountable leadership. The ANC-led government has always placed municipalities at the center of the developmental local government. And while challenges remain, admittedly, it is precisely because the ANC-led interventions that we have seen over time, such as the district development model, trying to resonate well of how to coordinate the government resources working together with all spheres and tiers of government, audit action plans, capacity building initiatives, that municipalities are being held to account, corrective measures are being pursued. The committee's engagement revealed the following, honorable leadership: procurement irregularities, weak financial controls in several municipalities that were identified, the high level of irregular expenditure due to historical weaknesses in governance, poor audit outcomes in municipalities such as Makana, Sundays River, and Raymond Mhlaba. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the under-collection of revenue, weak performance by municipal public accounts committees have also been cited and noted. Instability and the total disregard of acceptable standards, lack of discipline, and dichotomous blurring of lines between political and administrative interface. These findings must be understood not as failures of policy, but as a symptom of ongoing administrative weaknesses. And importantly, the ANC has assured that the clear recommendations and interventions are being implemented and addressed. And I think, Honorable Deputy Speaker, through you to Honorable MEC, we trust that indeed you are going to assist us to ameliorate this situation. It can't continue as if it is normal. The committee has taken bold steps and decisive steps as reflected in the report, especially highlighting strengthening of accountability, which we believe that MPECs are being capacitated, as we all know that those programs continue through SALGA and COPTA, with training on consequence management and oversight in line with the Municipal Finance Management Act, improving financial governance through the audit action plans that are being enforced, and municipalities are supported to comply with GRAP 17 standards for asset management, for which a number of instances were found wanting when it comes to this. Revenue enhancement municipalities are urged to implement credible billing systems and enforce debt collection policies, ensuring financial sustainability, fighting corruption, irregular contracts be reviewed, Honorable Deputy Speaker, with steps taken to recover funds lost from fraud, means management, and poor procurement practices that are intentional to defraud the state and the poor people of this province. Service delivery acceleration projects such as small town revitalization, human settlement grants are being monitored and fast-tracked through implementation, and they must benefit the communities and intended beneficiaries. Disaster relief and infrastructure. Municipalities like in Mozahil are being supported to access additional disaster relief funds and ensure infrastructure is maintained after these challenges, including areas of KSD, Mnuma, and so forth. Going forward, Honorable Deputy Speaker, We need to ensure that the empowering of local municipalities is an ongoing process, encourage active citizen participation in municipal decision-making process to provide valuable insights as well as expertise. It is not only us in the employ of the state that we may know everything, but sourcing wisdom from other stakeholders, even outside, will add more value in the work we do. Professionalizing local government by implementing comprehensive training programs for municipal officials to enhance their skills and competencies and establish a merit-based system for recruitment and retention of qualified officials. Foster a culture of accountability, transparency, and ethical decision-making within local government state. Digital transformation is also a call. Leveraging digital technologies, Honorable Deputy Speaker, through you, that the Honorable MEC needs to monitor and also ensure that there is a streamlining processes, reduce cost and improve service delivery efficiencies. I think those are the needs that are required. There are resources, albeit they are meager, but we can do a difference in the local state. Implement e-government services and encourage citizen engagement through digital platforms. Develop institutional readiness and improve revenue streams to support digital transformation. Improving service delivery can never be substituted, and also strengthening coalition agreements with policies that support service delivery and make them publicly available, enhancing public participation in municipal planning and decision-making processes. Implement robust monitoring and evaluation mechanism to track progress and identify areas for improvement. Addressing these challenges, DS of corruption and infrastructure challenges through effective governance and management practices. Foster partnership between local government, private sector, and civil society to leverage resources and expertise. I think also prioritizing citizen-centric approaches to service delivery, focusing on responsive quality and accessibility. Honorable members, ANC-led government is not turning a blind eye to challenges. Rather, we are confronting them head-on. And through strong oversight, policy innovation, and consequence management, the ANC is working to ensure municipalities improve their performance. And therefore, this report confirms that there were weaknesses, admittedly. The ANC government is leading the drive for a correction and accountability. In conclusion, Honorable Deputy Speaker, members that are present, and our guests and visitors, the Portfolio Committee report is a testament to the ANC's commitment to transparency, accountability, and service delivery. Whilst we acknowledge the shortcomings highlighted, we are equally confident that the measures recommended will yield results for our communities. The ruling party remain resolute in ensuring that municipalities become engines for development, that corruption is rooted out and we are not always taken closer to it, and that the dignity of our people is restored through reliable, resilient, as well as service delivery standards that are all welcomed by all our people. The African National Congress supports the report. Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Koboshian. I will now invite the MEC, Honorable Williams. You have 15 minutes, Honorable Williams. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Greetings to you, greetings to members of the executive as led by the acting premier, the members of the House, our esteemed guests, and the people of our province in all the social media platforms. And special welcome to the Honorable Speaker of Mzimvubu and the Chief Whip. That municipality is a newcomer in terms of clean governance. They've joined the league of 6 municipalities in our province. So we would want to really appreciate their visit into this august house. Honorable Deputy Speaker, let me take this opportunity and salute the members of our portfolio committee for the sterling job they have done in actually dealing with all the 7 municipalities that were facing bad audit outcomes linked to challenges in service delivery in our province. We have had a good conversation with those 7 municipalities and the portfolio committee, understanding the complexities that were facing such municipalities, some of whom are human resource related, consequence management, lack of internal control mechanisms, and lack of following all the laws and regulations regulating how municipalities must be run. While we acknowledge the challenges that are faced by these municipalities, but we must be careful not to present the 7 as if it is a reflection of the other municipalities that were not part of these 7 municipalities. Because that despondency will actually discourage those that are doing good to feel that no one is acknowledging their performance, and therefore they will then recede into the background and not be forthright in ensuring that good governance, efficient service delivery is provided to the communities of those municipalities. Indeed, I agree with members of the committee that our interventions must be more vigorous in terms of Section 154. The only challenge we are facing is that the vision to intervene, and we know exactly what must be done, is not concomitant to the allocated budget towards actually achieving that particular goal. And therefore we become hamstrung a bit when we're supposed to give support, because the financial constraints makes it difficult for us to move forward. So this House must actually help us to release this energy that we have so that we can be able to address the challenges that are facing local government. Because we know each municipality, we've got records of where things are not going according to plans. The interactions of the portfolio committee with municipalities exposed the deep challenges our municipalities face, which are related to irregular expenditures, debt owed to ESCOM, debt owed to Amatola Water, debt owed to the Auditor General, and debt owed by consumers to municipalities. There are good actions to be reported about the performance of our municipalities. If you look at the financial year 2023-2024, about 17 municipalities have reduced their irregular expenditures by 70%. And these are activities that we never acknowledge in municipalities. And I dare say that out of the non-delegated municipalities, the irregular expenditure after these reductions is about 4 billion, of which 1.2 billion of that is unauthorized expenditure. Now, some may not understand this unauthorized expenditure unless it is explained. Because sometimes municipalities will, due to disaster or emergency, spend budget that has not been approved by the municipality. The simple thing to do is to have an item to council, regularize the expenditure in the adjustment budget, and therefore take it out of the unauthorized package. Now, those are challenges that we're seeing, that some of the total of this 4 billion, if you take away that 1.2 billion and you clear it in terms of unauthorized expenditure, it drops the picture. And then you are left with irregular expenditure that you have to deal with, where MPECs are critical in investigating. We are not allowing any write-off of irregular expenditure without proper investigation, so that we know what was the causal factor of the irregular expenditure, what has been done for consequence management in order to be able to clear at the ultimate end the irregular expenditure. Just wanted to raise those issues. And the two metropolitan municipalities, the irregular expenditure covering the two is about 32 billion, with Nelson Mandela responsible for 22 billion and Buffalo City responsible for 10 billion. And indeed, in agreement with the portfolio committee, what we have looked into is what are the causal factors, and were able to pinpoint that both municipalities are affected by evergreen contracts, as the portfolio committee chairperson has raised. And so, we are currently intervening in both municipalities. In Buffalo City, in the last week, we have left about 11 officials focusing on irregular expenditure, procurement, financial management, human resources, and all the relevant mechanisms to improve the performance of those municipalities. The challenge we are also facing broadly in all municipalities is that our people are owing municipalities 42 billion. If 42 billion is not where service delivery must be happening, how are we expecting municipalities to perform? And what we've seen is that the debt owed by municipalities to ESCOM escalates more than the revenue collected by those municipalities. And this becomes somewhat of a misnomer. And we need to attend to that and see how we can support municipalities to deal with these matters. The debt owed to Amatola Water amounts to 472 million, with Amatole District Municipality responsible for 412, and the rest between OR Tambo and other small water service authorities. And our municipalities owe ESCOM about 5.2 billion rand. Now, they are owed 42 billion. ESCOM is owed 5.2 billion. Now, it means there's something wrong with our revenue strategies as the portfolio committee identifies. But also, we must remember how the economy of the country is struggling, performing below a percentage, and the rate of unemployment, and the reality of these municipalities based in rural settings where they mostly depend on grants in order to perform their functions. Be that as it may, there are pockets of excellence. Out of the 39 municipalities, 32 municipalities have spent their grant allocations in terms of MIG 100%. And the only balance that has been rolled over by National Treasury from all the delegated municipalities amounts to 19.2 million only, which means our efforts to improve service delivery are paying off dividends. What we still need to do is to check now whether the implementation of these efforts is concomitant with the value created on site. That's where we're going. We're improving the speed of expenditure, but at the same time, value created and management of fraud and corruption so that the services delivered are congruent with the funds that have been allocated.
2 minutes left, let me see.
And so, Honorable Deputy Speaker, this financial year, we have spent about 99% of the MIG allocated to this province. We have spent 94% on electrification. We have spent 92% on WISIG. And we have spent 90% on the regional bulk infrastructure grant. And all these efforts, we're making them in order to ensure that our people do benefit from the services of our municipalities. And therefore, we must really thank those that are implementing our strategies to the latter and still push those collectively that are still lagging behind. Achter ons kom ook 'n kraal. The hearings on the 7 district municipalities illustrated the truths that were linked to leadership failures, service delivery challenges, where accountability is absent, resulting in our people suffering. Chairperson, although the environment in these 7 is not palatable, we must refuse to be consumed and cry in the corner without help. We must stand up and ensure that this situation is changed for the better. Let us address the negative headlines about municipalities, because we would want the narrative to change because local government is everybody's business in this country, and we can only do it when we work together to ensure that the people's lives are changed for the better. Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. Honorable members, I put the report. Any objections? Thank you very much. I will now ask the Secretary to read the second item of the day.
Consideration of the report of the Portfolio Committee on Agriculture on oversight visits to projects funded by the department.
Thank you very much, Secretary. Honorable Jola, you have 20 minutes. Your 20 minutes starts now.
Greetings to you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Greetings to members of the Executive Council, our guests in the gallery, members of the Provincial Legislature, our Chief Whip of the Majority Party. I'm presenting a report of the Portfolio Committee of the Department of Agriculture. Honorable Chair, first and foremost, I would like to commend you or your leadership for the improvement in terms of the allocation of the minutes. However, it means that sawnaba namhlanje sawuke sinabe kakuhle sithembe. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Portfolio Committee held a meeting with the stakeholders, that is Department of Agriculture, Department of Rural Development, local economic development officials from the local municipalities, councillors, farmers, conducted an oversight visit from 2nd to 6 May 2025 to the selected farms and projects that were supported by Department of Agriculture and the Nelson Mandela Metro and Christianity District Municipality. In all the projects, presentations were made to the delegation, followed by the site visits. I would like to put an emphasis specifically to our Honorable MEC for the Department of Agriculture that the officials on the ground did not disappoint us. They are equal to the task in terms of the information that we're actually getting from them. I would like also to indicate clearly that across the country, the challenges that we're actually facing, we're facing an issue of there are more consumers than producers. And it's a trend going forward. We need to put our heads together and fight that problem. When you talk about the economy, Honorable MEC for Kokta just talked here about the economy. When you talk about the economy is about food, nothing else. You don't listen to Buciko, Bomto Tetanga economy, the first one, stakeholders meeting at Christianity District Municipality. Findings. Finding number 1, there are 27 vacant posts in the district, and these include critical posts of a Deputy Director Engineering Services. Submission has been made to the head office. B, the department is still using the old organogram of 2009, of which it's a cause for concern. Local offices infrastructure is dilapidated, and some offices have been condemned, such as Tofim Vava and Dr. A.B. Kuma local municipality offices. There are infrastructure challenges like access roads to farms and bridges, which make it difficult for the farmers to work and deliver their produce. Recommendations. The department must within 30 days submit to the committee a progress report on the filling of the vacant posts. B, a detailed report on why the new organogram has not yet been implemented must be submitted to the committee within 30 days. C, the department